Hi everyone, and welcome to my hallway. Apologies if this sounds echoey because it's not sound treated. What I have in front of me is a tape cutting machine that belongs to a local factory, and I was asked to look at it and see if I can repair it. The fault that it's reported is that it doesn't turn on. The way that this machine operates, you have a roll of tape or multiple rolls of tape that are fitted through this bed, and then there's a roller on this side that pulls it and cuts it on this side using a thermal cutter to a specific length, and you can set it to output that number of pieces. As I mentioned, the reported fault is that it does not power on, and someone was already in it, but they couldn't figure it out what was wrong. It opens through the top where that cover can be lifted off, and we can look at the inside and try and figure it out what's wrong with it. Now, before I dive into disassembly of the machine, let's take a moment to thank our sponsor, Altium 365. Altium 365 transforms the way we work by integrating design, procurement, and manufacturing in one centralized platform. Experience real-time teamwork on any device with no new tools needed. Easily track design changes and manage your parts or component with ease. With its interactive browser-based interface, global sharing capabilities, and comprehensive data management, Altium 365 ensures your product development is efficient, secure, and innovative. Visit the link in the video description to get your free Altium 365 workspace and redefine your design experience. My very first thought was that maybe the cable is bad somehow because I've seen that on a DVR recently. But I tested it with the multimeter and it seems to be fine. So let's connect the machine and see if there are any signs of life. So yes, as you saw, there's no signs of life. So let's disconnect it from the mains and try to open it up. Okay, so we're in, but we're not really seeing that much. I can see that there is a transformer and also there's like a controller board down there. But I guess I'm gonna need to remove this front panel as well. Okay, so here we are inside. And first things first, although there's a fuse here on the front, I checked it before this assembly, but let's make sure. Yeah, that's okay. And we do have another fuse here. Let me try. Yep, that's okay too. What else? Let's check the continuity to the meters. It's a bit tricky to see the wiring like this, but let's first check the wiring from the power lead. Okay, so yep, one comes here. Hold on. The other one comes here, but the wires are actually going from this contact. Let's check. Alright. Yeah. Could it be that there's actually another fuse there? Okay, so this is at the back, and there seems to be a fuse here that I missed, and probably whoever looked at this before also missed. Yep, looks blown. Okay, so let's test the fuse. And yep, it's blown. Okay, so here is another fuse, and as you can see, this one does have continuity, while this one does not. This is not the right fuse for the machine, because this one is 5 amp fuse and this one is 3.15, I think, but I think it should be okay, so we can test and see if it powers on. Okay, let's check the power lead again before connecting anything. So this one was okay, and this one is coming from here all the way to here. Yep. So now we have continuity, and there doesn't seem to be like a short circuit directly. Let's try and switch it. Remember, this is unplugged, so no short circuit here. And let's try and switch here. Okay, so this measures at about 40 ohms. Even though it sounds like a short circuit, it probably just powers on the coil here on the transformer. Yep. I feel quite confident. Let's see what happens. Okay, and immediately when I powered it on, I saw light here. This is probably for the heater, and let's try the control. And now works. Okay, so here's the machine back together. I added the right fuse. Okay, let's turn it on. Let me reposition so you could see. Okay, and the heater works. Let's try to turn it on. Okay, so length set. Okay. I guess we need to just start it. Let's see what happens. And you could see that it tries to cut. And it tripped a fuse. Okay, that wasn't the fuse, but that was actually the RCD in my home. I'm not sure what caused that. Let's try it again. Yep. Okay, so I think I know what the problem is. So this wire here goes up and down, and I think it's touching. Hold on, let's focus. So this wire goes up and down, and I think it's touching on the metal plate, and since everything is connected to ground, when it touches there's some leakage ground, because it only happens when the heating element goes down. So I'll try to see if I can maybe readjust that. It's now hot because it was running, but we'll see if we can adjust that. Okay, so this is getting a bit difficult to show and film, but as I suspected, I removed the metal plate that keeps this jaw in place, and you could see here that there is actually because of all the rubbing, the insulation is broken, and this wire possibly touches with the frame, thus tripping the RCD. So you could see that it's damage right here. I'll try to see if I can readjust the jaw and move it to the right, because there is space on the right where it can go. And on a second look, I'm guessing that this was probably set wrong, because on this jaw there is actually a cutout. When you turn it, it will clear the cable, while this one that I removed does not. So it was like this, and it was touching, and if we turn it the other way around, this one will have the notch on the side where it will no longer touch. Okay, so I tried to remove the blade here, but you could see that this is not adjustable in this direction, so we can't pull it this way. It only goes back and forth to adjust for the cutting motion there. So we'll leave it as is. I'm thinking what could be that I can add so it isolates on high temperature, and the only thing that I can think of at the moment is Kapton tape, so that's what I'm gonna add. Okay, so here it is back in operation. You saw it already that it finished what it had started. If we run another batch of 10, there it goes. So it no longer touches, and there is enough clearance on the side. Let me show you that. So if I start another batch, now you see the cable doesn't go. It's no longer rubbing on the metal part there, and everything functioned as expected. And with that, I'm gonna end the video right here. I hope you liked it. It turned out to be an interesting fix, even though I thought that it might be a boring one at the beginning, just with the fuse, but with the wire that rubbed on the metal, it made it more interesting. If you are into things like that and you would like to see more, then feel free to subscribe to my channel. Let me know down in the comments if you have any questions, and I will see you all in the next one. Cheers!